Whoa, we did it.
Welcome to Can't Camp. I gotta make sure to not drink my water so close to the mic. Alex,
I'm gonna drink my tea very close to the mic.
Don't.
You have it on you, and you should. This is
Oh my god, no. We're already, I can.
There we go.
Let's all do it then. It's okay.
We're gonna keep the ASMR crowd.
I can't take it. Dom and Albert in our...
This is what happens when you don't have an intro, Clam.
You know what? I think I'd take the sipping over the intro. Sipping.
So what are we going to talk about today? What do we got on the thing?
We're covering all sorts of stuff. We're covering music. We're covering also music. We're covering some more music, and we're covering games as usual.
Okay.
And all
Music is good. Games are good. Games in music. Oh my god.
We have a special guest
Blows
joining us.
my mind.
First time. You want to introduce ourselves, special guest?
Hello, my name is Alexander Sheldon. I love you.
And welcome. Thank you so much for
You
coming on today. And Alex is also in California, like me. It is currently on fire. And
Nice.
looks like...
Yeah, over here there's ashes falling in the backyard constantly.
Is your sky
Are
like
there?
orange? Because mine's orange.
No, I'm right by the ocean right now. It's entirely gray.
Ah,
Mm.
orange or gray?
So you got to take your pick, orange or gray. You know,
I like orange.
I like orange better than gray.
Do you want...
I love the color orange. I don't love it as a sky color because it usually means something is horribly wrong.
Look, they're just like the two options in California. Do you want the first half of Blade Runner 2049, or do you want the second half of Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. That's
Oh
exactly
my
what it
The
goodness.
is.
movie's great.
True.
Awesome movie.
Do you see the Dune trailer, Alex?
I did. I saw it last night. I'm so happy. I'm hyped.
I'm very
I'm
excited.
also
Worm
super hyped
looks
for
like
it.
the old one from Demon Souls, and I'm happy.
I've never
And
played.
Demon
Also,
Souls is
I'm
also
down for
getting
all their
remade,
casting
right?
choices.
Demon Souls is getting a remade for PS5, right?
Yes, it is.
How's Demon Souls' soundtrack? As
All you
someone who's
PlayStation
never
people.
played Demon Souls before.
The hell is it about?
It's
kind of behind.
It's grating.
It's what?
It's grating.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the Demon Souls soundtrack is okay, but they do some fun vocal stuff. It's the same deal as Dark Souls. I think the music got better in Dark Souls, but it's pretty silent. You're running around in this super oppressive world. It's very silent, and that just makes you feel alone with your thoughts and the cries of the enemies until you get to a boss, and then the bosses have their themes.
Just a
So it
bunch
makes
of armor
music a
sounds.
big deal. Bunch of armor sounds, a bunch of fire.
Well, what is...
Bunch of hit sounds.
Is the music in Dark Souls like... 'cause I can't remember playing like what the music is like. Is it like foreboding or something, or what is it?
I think it's mostly foreboding. That game is
Very,
just
very foreboding.
foreboding.
Yeah, I think Dark Souls 3 definitely has the best soundtrack. Like they were like, let's step it up a notch for this.
Okay.
But yeah, music is used very sparingly in those. Like it's bosses, and if you've played any Dark Souls, you'll remember like there's this place, Firelink Shrine, where you go to just chill. That's where all the NPCs come when you rescue them in the world. And it has music, which makes it special. Because
Okay.
nothing else has that. And it's like the only peaceful music in the whole game. So you really fall in love with Firelink Shrine when you play that game. Because when you're not at Firelink Shrine, everything is horrible.
Oh.
In Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Has everybody played Dark Souls here except me? I played
No,
it for
I've
like
not.
10
I have
seconds.
not played Dark Souls.
I have not.
It was
I
kind
don't
of
want to
hard.
torture myself.
Okay.
It's quite hard. It's fair. It's a fair game. The marketing campaign, I think, does it a disservice because it is difficult, but it's never difficult for mean reasons.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
like...
it's just like okay.
It's part of that ludonarrative resonance, baby.
it's no Kingdom
Because
Hearts.
the
It's no...
gameplay is supporting
Ah.
the story, and
I don't
Okay,
see
okay.
Kingdom Hearts as being hard though. I remember it not being
Have you
too
done
hard.
all the secret bosses? Because I have cried.
Okay, I
Which one are we
haven't done the
talking
secret
about? Are we
bosses.
talking
You're
about
right.
like
You're right. I don't know what I'm
one.
talking about, Cam. I don't know
want
what
you
I'm
to
talking
beat
about. I'm
every
sorry.
single secret boss, and I want you to come back to me the same exact man you are now. I want you to tell me that didn't change you as a person.
You know what? I will do it just to prove a point.
It'll be too late. I'll be on my Kingdom Hearts rhythm game.
You still got that? You still got that key in the background? That giant ass nerd key of yours?
Oh, I brought it to the new apartment, so I don't have it currently here, but I do have it still.
Okay, cool.
Oh, nice.
I'm crying at the thought of that Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. Speaking of music, 140 tracks, guys. 140 tracks.
Are you gonna get it?
Oh, I have to.
Wait, there's a new one or what?
You have to. You don't have to.
I do. I've platinumed all the Kingdom Hearts games. Soft brag, soft brag, soft brag. But yes, but I can't. I'm gonna have to platinum this one too because, of course,
Is it a new game or what?
it's a new game, but in whatever classic sense, I don't know who started doing this. Basically, they were like, "Hey, we have like an extra 15 minutes of footage of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's a little bit it's like an epilogue. And they're like, we have 15 extra minutes. But in order to watch those 15 extra minutes of footage, we're gonna make you play this fucking game. We're gonna make you hit all the X's, all the circles. We're gonna make you jump. We're going to make you listen to Under the Sea 1,000 times while you're going, and then
Why is Under the Sea the one?
And then I'll get my 15 minutes of extra footage. And my
Is Under the Sea on Kingdom Hearts? I remember it being replaced by something else, no?
Is what?
Am I remembering it wrong? Under the Sea.
No. Yeah, they do,
Under the Sea?
No, they... I can't remember.
Yeah, I was thinking about that Ariel shit.
I think it's in there, but like very briefly, because I know her Up Where They Walk one. Up where I walk.
Megan.
Alright, moving on.
Seaweed is always greener in somebody's.
Let's not do anything that's
Alex, you sent us some tracks.
I did send you some tracks.
Explain yourself on some of these tracks. Let's start with the first one.
A lot of thoughts on these tracks.
We'll give a little.
First one?
We'll give a little silent listen, like a little quick peaceful, and we'll all sit and we'll like sample it. We'll move on to the next one and discuss. So let's start with the first one. Why did you send Silent Hill 2?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about ways in which video game soundtracks are unique compared to other kinds of music, especially accompaniment music. Now, this is one of them. I'm a big fan of horror, and this here track from Silent Hill 2 is the scariest thing I've experienced in any game. So as you listen to it, just imagine you're in this hotel. Everything is horrible. Everything is dark. There's no music anywhere. And you're in Silent Hill, so it's the worst. And you just walk into this room. There's dead butterflies everywhere. There's a hole in the wall where you got to stick your hand in to get a thing. It's just a slimy hole. But okay, so you walk into this room, and there's no danger. Nothing happens to you in this room. There's no gameplay mechanics that are haunting you, except for all of the horrible monsters that had happened previously to this moment. And then you walk into this room and you hear this thing, and it's the worst. It's a horrible feeling. I love every second of it.
All right. Let's give it a
quick
quick
on that
listen.
first track.
Everyone, give it a quick.
Yeah, you can skip forward like a third of the way through it.
I've been listening to it, and it's scary as shit.
The first link, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
the first
eerie.
one.
What is going on? Like, what is
Albert
that
here.
pipe
Albert's
sound?
been like, wait, we weren't supposed to start it, and he's over there just shaking.
If you see
Alright,
my
so if you go-
face during the recording, it's like, oh, why am I listening to this? It's so scary. It's scary
All right,
as hell.
so go to
though.
like 120 for the good part.
All right. I think it's cool
I
how
need
like.
to reopen it.
All right, I'm gonna bring it up to the 120 mark. I think it's cool how like I don't play a lot of horror games, but when a horror game can do, I play some. The ones that you make me.
Yeah.
Some.
I didn't mean to get so defensive.
I'm
But
genuinely curious.
all right, hold on. One
Dom
second.
is our
Hold on,
resident horror game player.
Yeah, this is scary with like the piano, whatever
Yeah.
footstep thingy or whatever.
Is that like pipe clanging on the walls?
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah.
Oh, too scary. I'm out.
scary
I'm
is
out.
good.
I'm leaving. I'm scared now. Don't like it. I'm stuck here.
What are you fiddling?
I'm trying to get out of the thing. There we go. Your guys' face was blocking it. That was my reason. I like the atmospheric horror games in a way where it's not like just about the jump scares.
Hmm.
Because you have like the classic first person, like what was the one that came out when the PlayStation 4 first came out?
PT?
No, Dom, you played it too. It was.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
Daylight?
The guy. Outlast.
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 Yes.
That was a scary game also. It also brought back the
fucking
genre of horror
batteries.
game.
Oh my god, they
Like-
last like 5 minutes in the game. Like, no
That
light.
scares
Crazy.
me.
Yeah, it brought back the genre of horror games, which I feel like also brought back Resident Evil 7, the remake of 2 and 3, and I'm guessing 8. And that's, I think,
And Almost Silent Hills.
and
Yeah.
almost Silent Hill.
They're due for their remake at some point.
Once
should we
Konami
move on to
thinks
the
that
second
they're
Silent
not, they're
Hill
gonna
track
stop
real
making
quick?
pachinko.
What's that?
You want to move on
I
to
mean,
the second Silent
listen
Hill?
to the second Silent Hill.
Oh,
Sure.
second Silent Hill.
We'll give it a
yeah,
quick listen, and
that
then
one's just there as a contrast. Talk about it after?
yeah.
Sure.
All right, this is fine.
This sounds like something Linkin Park would dabble into or something.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, you're right.
This has a
It's
lot
like
more.
Yeah.
This has a lot more of like It's got like that
You know,
early
if you
2000s.
if we don't put it in the video or in the podcast, you guys can listen to it on the playlist that we're gonna set up on the description down below.
Yep. Yeah, this is
Because-
low key a good workout track. Like I don't know, it's almost there, you know.
This is not a workout track.
No, but I can picture putting a little bit of a beat, and it's just I don't know, becomes like a hip hop instrumental. You know, lift some weights to it. I don't know. It's
I
got
can see it.
potential. I like it.
I don't know why it makes me think of like custom Robo in my GameCube games, but it's got like just that weird like something that I think, or at least in my experience, a lot of the childhood games that I had were very like. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what I'm doing, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's all
that
just
synth.
very
Okay.
like atmospheric-y, kind of like ethereal type music, where it's like they're doing the thing on the adventure.
Which we don't see a whole lot of anymore.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of composers are just going like full orchestral,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't a bad thing. It's just very different.
That's what I was reading. And Albert, you might know a little bit more about this than I do, but I was reading some like interviews with Toby Fox about the Undertale soundtrack, and
Yes.
they were talking about like the bits where it was just like silent, and you would walk in. And you'd be hearing the music, and then it would just cut, and then you'd have the text dialogue like, but there'd still be like no music.
It's like he's trying to speak to me. I know it.
I think basically in the interview, he was saying, if I'm remembering it correctly, was saying like to recapture that era of when those games
Old
were
school games.
Yeah, of that really like immerse yourself in the feeling of playing those games. Traditional.
It has that old Earthbound feeling, right? That's what he was going for, because I think he made like an Earthbound fan game before he made Undertale. And
Wait,
then
what is
Toby
Undertale?
Fox. Undertale is like an
People who don't know, like me.
RPG game that's on PS4. That was like a huge cult hit on when it came out on Steam, and then became a big deal everywhere because it's so good, and it captures the heart of the gamers who loved Mother, the franchise, like Earthbound, Mother 3 and stuff, like the Mother series.
What is Undertale about? Like 10-second summary?
10-second summary, if I remember it correctly. It's about a kid who falls down to like a cave where there's monsters, and you can befriend them or you can fight them. So you have like a pacifist route, or where you have to talk, you have to figure out what they want, or you have to fight them, and then you destruction path, where you just kill everything, and it will affect the ending of the story. It will tell you what happens in the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like super meta. Yeah. Did you play it, Alex? Nice.
I've played a little bit of it. I've seen a lot more than I've played, and I've also listened to the music a lot, because those jams, man, they are hopping and bopping.
Jamming. Yeah. Slap them on some toast. That's some jam.
Yeah. And even though they sound like old game soundtracks, like chiptunes, they translate so very well to real instruments. Like I've heard old style bands do an incredible version, a Klezmer version of the Boneklezmer. If you guys know what that is.
What's a Klezmer?
Klezmer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a wonderful kind of music. I'm into it a lot because I play the accordion, and there's a lot.
He's like the resident musician, people.
I am a resident musician. I play the accordion, I play the piano, and by extension, I guess I play the melodica, which is mostly shitty.
A smaller piano.
It's this little keyboard that you blow into, and it sounds like a harmonica.
It's something that you give to elementary kids.
Good. It's not a solo instrument. Yeah. Unless you got I do have a high-end one, but it's...
Requires a lot of lung power.
Does it sound different than the one you give to kids?
Not really.
The high-end ones?
A little bit, yeah. It's a nice Hona. It was a gift. But now that I have an accordion, I never play that thing.
Okay.
Anywho, Klezmer music.
I miss your do you have a link to the Klezmer, the track you're talking about?
I don't yet, but I can find it real quick.
Yeah, let's find that real quick. Albert, do you want to... We can scroll a little farther down our list. Did you want to point out, or Dom, did you...
Oh, you want to listen to mine?
Yeah, let's just...
Just listen to Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack. The whole thing. Let's sit here for an hour and a half and listen to it.
This is no longer a podcast.
No,
it's just a Final Fantasy VII. Listen along.
Wait,
I'm on vacation and I don't have that kind of time.
Because the whole...
Okay, there's that Klezmer.
The whole game just is a love song for the...
Which one are we watching?
The remake, the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's one of those games that the music is so good, and it makes you hyped up so much that you play the game. And also the game is a great game. It's controversial with the way they ended it, because everyone... It's like Vegemite. Either you love it or you hate it, right?
What?
Never heard it?
Like
no, it does.
You never heard that?
I have. But it's so...
It's like the Dom. You either hate him or love him, you know?
That too.
And you mostly hate him,
I was not ready for the Vegemite debate.
But yeah, it's like the ending. Everyone loved the whole... everyone who played the game, who played the original, loved the first 80. And then they are kind of either love or hate the ending part. But it's myself, I love the game. And the songs are just fucking sick.
Because they re-recorded the whole... It's the same songs as before, they just re-recorded it, right?
Yeah. And it's just great. It's like they modernize it. It sounds great. It feels great. It's like the ballads, the new stuff they added. It's great. So should we go back to the one you were talking about, Alex? Because I saw you posted a link on it.
Yeah. All right, we're popping.
Yeah. So as you're popping that on, a brief summary of Klezmer music. It's a lot of Jewish folk play it. It's a very lively. It's a band style that includes like a lot of wind, a lot of accordion. You get your clarinet in there. You get your bassoon. And we have a hopping and bopping time with some really weird scales.
Love it. All right, I'm gonna click on
this is
Boneklezmer.
Boneklezmer.
Oh, this is cool.
Hold on, let me get back to it.
Yeah, this song lends itself really well to Klezmer.
Like the thing about Undertale is it's a great love song for Mother and Earthbound and old school RPG, but apparently the fan base for it is just horrible.
For Undertale?
Yeah, for Undertale. The Reddit fan base was like super critical. So they just hate people who criticize the game.
And this game forced everybody to feel something, and and we're all uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dom, what were you saying though?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That is what Klezmer
Grandma
is.
gets down.
It is a good song though.
And you can't go wrong with the hammer dulcimer.
I know we gotta move on, but I'm jamming to it.
We don't gotta move on. We can just.
This is the rest of the podcast, guys. Klezmer
The
music.
show has editing, right?
Yeah, right.
No, we'll just send it out unedited, because that's what the people
Or just
want.
like play the whole thing for the audience. Actually approach the people who put this
I
arrangement
feel like
together.
Toby
and be
Fox.
like, hey,
Toby Fox would be cool with it. And
who did this one?
It's not Toby Fox, is it?
Oh, apparently this is approved by Toby Fox. This arrangement of it.
Ah. I mean, Toby Fox is like a cool dude online. I know that he's like really... He talks to his fans and he's good with like having those conversations with fans. And I think he recently made... Didn't he make like one of the songs in Pokemon Sword and Shield?
sorry, say it again.
Didn't he like made a song for one of the battles in Sword and Shield Pokemon?
Oh yes, he did. I can't remember which one. Let me try to pull that up because I remember.
We'll pull it up. And put it right here.
Because I remember them talking about it, and then when I heard it, I was like, "Yeah, this sounds exactly what Toby Fox Pokemon music would sound like."
But yeah, it's one of those things that Toby Fox wanted to make a Nintendo game, and then he's in Pokemon now.
Yeah, Nintendo really likes him too, because remember that bit in the Smash Brothers little video that he what did he do? He went to Sakurai's house and they played Smash Bros because they put Sans as a skin.
Yeah, this guy is so good for Nintendo.
Like if Nintendo gives him like the Mother series or the Earthbound series just to make by himself,
he would do so good with that.
Yeah.
Dom, we'll play another.
Yeah, it is.
We'll play another track from Undertale, and you'll hear how aesthetically close he is.
The what? Which one? The Muffet theme? The one you sent on the group chat?
Yeah.
All right.
To himself, you can really hear his distinctions of the music. I'm bopping to this one.
Yeah, Toby Fox is one of those developers that sometimes are able to change the heart of minds of big industries. And it's like Nintendo love them, PlayStation loves them, the Steam people, the fans loves them. So anything he makes after this, or people already love. Didn't he make a sequel? Didn't he make like another game? I can't remember. That's like Chapter 0.
Yeah.
Deltarune. It's like Undertale.
Pokemon track just sounds like straight up Smash Bros.
The Pokemon one?
This guy is such a good fit for Nintendo. He sounds a lot like Koji Kondo. He's all about that memorable melody.
Remind me, which one is Koji Kondo? What did he make?
Oh, he's the guy that did all the great Nintendo stuff we love. He did the soundtracks for the early Marios, Zelda. Did he do Metroid? I don't know if he did Metroid, but he's all over Nintendo.
There you go.
And he's all over our childhoods. He's got his grubby little hands on him. I love that man. No, but he's incredible. And the reason his stuff is so popular is because, like John Williams, he's the kind of guy who can give you an incredible melody. It's not necessarily something that's very atmospheric, but this is so damn good. Nintendo's the king of that.
Honestly.
Muffet theme is the last, it's the last third.
With our little squid girl.
Yeah.
She's a spider.
This sounds old school and reminds me of kind of reminds me of Mega Man. I don't know why. Like old school Mega Man.
Oh, this does sound like Mega Man.
It is reminding me. It is like a Mega Man
battle.
theme.
I lost it multiple times.
Oh, you played Undertale? I don't remember. I haven't seen you play Undertale. Yeah,
I played forward and backward. I got to my because slight spoilers for Undertale. You have to do, in order to do like the true pacifist run, you have to play through the game once anyway. So I played through it twice, and then the true pacifist ending hurt me so much that I, in a good way, that I just had to. I can't touch it. I'm scared of them.
You didn't finish
It gets so like sentient and meta that it's like that Rick and Morty argument. Like if any of you guys saw the Rick and Morty with the train, the plot train or whatever, where they like go through all these different plot devices and they get like super crazy, like fourth wall breaking, where they're like, where they do the toys and they're like, oh, they're alive in every way except in the way that matters because they don't have a soul. And it was like all this like really like, it was just this really kind of like not uncomfortable, just like a weird look at like if you write down a character, who's to say that that character doesn't like is alive until like you stop writing about them. And that's like that's the vibe that Undertale gave, and it made me scared, so I stopped playing it.
And I like talking about super meta games because I remember there being like a meta that was super popular with the YouTube scene. It's called, what is it called? It's like a dating sim game.
Dream Daddy.
No, that's not. That's not
Daddy,
super meta though.
No, we should all play Dream Daddy. Dream Daddy is a dating sim, and you date
where you play as like a single dad trying to get other dads.
Love me a good dad.
Fun game to watch, but I was talking about like Doki Literature Club.
Oh,
it was portrayed as this like innocent, like high school, like kind of like, you know, the similar like dating game that you can date, like you can pick a girl that you want to date and blah 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 blah, and then it suddenly turns into this horror game where it messes with your.
Do you want to explain in detail the blah 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 blah? What do you take?
Is it a sex thing? That's what he's asking.
And then you start giving them gifts, and you start going out on the theme parks. I don't know what the Japanese tropes are. I can't tell you on the top of my head, but I think, and then it suddenly turns for the worst, where like the game started to, like the girls started dying, and then the game started to like mess with, like corrupt your save file, and you have to open the save file on your Windows, and then and then you have to fix it that way. It's like it's crazy how it works, and it became like a big thing online because
Some Eternal Darkness shit.
What's the Pigeon one?
Pigeon Simulator, like the Pigeon dating game.
Yeah, what's that one?
Isn't that just a dating game where you're pigeons?
I hope so.
Where you're
Not sure it
trying to
has any
date
of this meta
pigeons.
stuff.
What's the like?
Why wouldn't you date
we need
pigeons?
we need a music review on this Pigeon game. Not right now, but like I don't have the effort to do it. But all right, cool.
Talking about atmospheric Nintendo game, I put up the Breath of the Wild just soundtrack. Just playing Breath of the Wild, like in the world, you can hear you hear little bits of pieces of the music, right? They weave it in once when you're traveling around, but when you start fighting and when you're closer to say cutscene or whatever, like the game, the music ramps up and becomes like a really good music. It's very it's not simple, but it's very good in like how they weave it, how they program every bits and pieces of the music just to serenade the player around the game, right? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know like a lot of people were talking about the silentness of that game because it like didn't have, because in some of the more quiet moments it was just birds, just footsteps. And I know there was some people who it was like they took some risks with that game, which I think were really important.
They
And
did.
they nailed it.
They nailed it. And there's always a little bit of piano going on in the background there. And if you listen super close over a long period of time, they like weave in the old Zelda themes.
Yeah.
Over the course of one of these long tracks. All right, what you got here? FIFA Street 2 soundtrack. Here we go. But first, we got to know about Squarespace.
But first,
good feedback.
We're not a sponsor. Squarespace.
Squarespace, come sponsor us,
yes,
please.
Squarespace.
We love Granite.
Were you Square Your Space? Sponsor your Square. Give us money.
We'll tell people about the real purpose of Squarespace if you sponsor. Oh, this is nice.
It's a good bop. Yeah, I mean, FIFA Street made the game more arcadey and also made the game a lot of fun just to play the game. And they never did it again.
I think like a resurgence of FIFA Street would be like really cool, especially with like Skate 4 coming and the Tony Hawk games being remastered. Like, I think the Tony Hawk ones are like legendary for their soundtracks, but that was a little bit like
pretty damn good.
Not mine. It was around our time, but like maybe a little bit before. But also like I was very separate. I was very Nintendo as a kid. I did not deviate.
Since you're a Nintendo kid, you know what skate game they gotta bring back? They gotta do that Disney Pixar
oh my gosh.
skate game that was in all of the McDonald's. Back when McDonald's had video games.
Talk about
McDonald's had video games?
Talk about an unhealthy obsession.
They have those?
Yeah.
Why don't I know anything about this?
Yeah.
America is such a weird place. Early 90s, early 2000s. Not early 90s, late 90s to early 2000s.
Now, McDonald's had the most endearing characters of them all. They had Grimace.
Love Grimace. Grimace was my
What
fave.
is Grimace? He's like a purple jelly bean.
Yes.
I don't know what he's for, but you got Clown Boy.
Who is the...
You got Clown Boy. You got Hamburglar.
There was a green thing made out of like seaweed or something, wasn't there? Was that Relish?
Oh, the Puffies.
Puffies.
It's like you take a Furby and you grind it up into the kind of beef that's going to go into the burger.
Oh.
The hair's still attached. That's what those guys are.
That's really gross.
You mix them all. It's like the reverse.
Well, McDonald's is really
it's
gross.
the reverse Powerpuff Girls. You just throw all of those characters into a pot, and you got yourself McDonald's
A burger.
hamburger.
You got yourself seaweed thing.
What was the obsession? Real quick, what was the obsession with like secret formulas being stolen? I'm thinking about like how much like because there was the Hamburglar who was always trying to burgle them hams, I guess. You had Plankton trying to always steal Mr. Krabs' formula around the same time.
I think it's just they're trying to hype up their food, saying that, oh, we have a secret formula.
He had Willy
I've heard great
Wonka.
things about the Krabby Patty.
But it was such like a genre of like it was so specific.
Fast food cartoon advertising.
Yeah, it just like
That's the special thing about SpongeBob, though, is they're not trying to sell you a real burger.
it's true.
Like that's the best version of that, and they're not selling you anything.
You know, as soon as they can, they're just gonna shill out whatever they can do to get that Krusty Krab burger at whatever theme park, and then it's gonna explode.
They're already doing it in that Universal, right? Is there a SpongeBob place in Universal? Am I not remembering
It might
right?
be the Simpsons place.
There's a Simpsons place,
Oh, The Simpsons. No, I got it wrong then.
but there's no burger in The Simpsons that's as enticing as a delectable Krabby Patty.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, my mouth is watering just thinking about it, and it's not even a real food.
It's something that it's been hyped up so much that it's like, oh, Krabby Patty, the best burger on the sea, in the sea, whatever. It was like the best burger out there. It's like, I want to try it, and they never did anything with it.
Absolutely nothing can compare.
They could have.
They
They
could
had
have.
every opportunity, and they kept their integrity.
All right, moving down the list a little bit.
I love that we got here from Tony Hawk.
I know, right?
Not even from Tony Hawk, from fucking FIFA Street.
There we go. Tony Hawk, FIFA
Yes.
Street, Krabby Patty.
FIFA Street to SpongeBob.
All right, talk to you. Sent a little Rock of Ages as well. Talk us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's give that a listen and then talk us through it.
All right.
I'm clicking on it now.
Rock of Ages is hilarious.
What is it?
And for the audience who watches the show, if you guys skip something, the playlist of whatever we're listening to is under the description. I'm just letting you know because we're all listening to Rock of Ages right now.
Jam out to it with us.
Yeah. It's a pretty good jam.
Oh,
It's
here.
really... I don't know why. It's reminding me of
It's like
Winnie the Pooh. I don't know why.
it's more like it's a more Monty Python-esque Pikmin game. Like if you just made like
Yeah, Monty Python is exactly the right reference because this whole game is like built out of one of those Terry Gilliam animated sequences
just
Oh, is
in
it?
a Monty Python movie. Yeah,
See, I've
not
never seen Monty
really,
Python,
but
so I
it's
can't say
inspired by
much.
Oh my god, you have so much fun stuff to look forward to.
It's just one of those things that I missed out the same way I missed out on
okay.
What do you miss out on?
Monty Python. I also missed out on Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby, yeah. Oh,
If you have to pick
that
one
was
of the
shit.
two, Monty Python is, oh my god. Austin Powers, I watched the first one the other day and it was great, and then I watched the second one and it's not as great.
Watch your mouth, though. An American classic or a British classic.
British
Some
classic.
classic.
I mean,
one?
Austin
you're
Powers.
neither
British
of those
classic. It's an
things.
American movie.
Okay. Whatever.
No, Monty Python is a British classic. Like, that is pure grade A British humor up in there.
Dom's Denmark side is coming in
Anywho,
hot.
Rock of Ages. So, Rock of Ages is an interesting one. The pitch for anyone who doesn't know what this game is it's a comedy Monty Python game that is half tower defense and half Marble Blast Gold. It's as insane as it sounds.
You're right.
And the soundtrack is very interesting because the game is you play as Sisyphus's boulder from the Greek myth, and you're trying to destroy the enemy gate. Yeah, this whole thing is about like the history of high art, and you're traveling through all the different artistic eras, and it makes a lot of fun of them, and it's super good. But as it does this, the soundtrack is going along with the narrative. It's taking tracks from classical music, Baroque music, old music, and it is rearranging them to really meet this whimsical tone. So like this one that we just heard, Let Us Win and Be Famous in History, that's totally from an opera. I shot myself in the foot by not providing you with an example. That is a piece I actually know, but you just go through that soundtrack, you're going to recognize some stuff from your childhood if you listen to classical music at all. Mecha David. Mecha David's great. I'm just looking at the names here. Sisyphus escapes from Hades.
Now I'm just trying to like play Rock of Ages now. This is like thinking like
You should play Rock of Ages. Give them your money.
I will.
I just finished playing Rock of Ages 2. It's way more polished.
They made a sequel?
Yeah,
Damn.
3 apparently.
A third one just came out.
We got a big block of cheese.
I can't wait to play the third.
I mean, it's a cult hit, right? I remember it being like people playing it.
Yeah, it's from Ace Games. Ace does some really weird stuff. Their other somewhat hits. I don't know if they've made a major hit bigger than Rock of Ages, but some stuff you might know about is Xenoclash, that first-person brawler in like a Salvador Dali painting.
Why does that sound so familiar? What is it? Xenoclash?
Xenoclash and Xenoclash too. It was top of the Xbox games with gold on the 360.
Huh.
Or Summer of Xbox Live.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
This looks crazy.
It was pretty early in the indie game boom. Played the shit out of it.
That's spooky. There's like a bird guy. Scary.
Good pick.
All right. Moving down the list
That
of
soundtrack is
tracks.
less now.
Albert, you got anything else you pointed out?
No. Anything else I enjoy, I can put it on the playlist so everyone can listen to. Because nothing is coming up right now. I think I put in Shadow of the Colossus, and that's also like an atmospheric kind of music. I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that soundtrack is like.
Is it full orchestra?
Because it plays for. It's like silent as you're going through the world, and then it plays for the bosses.
Oh yeah.
It's way prettier than Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Way prettier.
Is there anything
You play
that,
Dark
like,
Souls for the fun of the game, not the pretty looks.
Is there anything that, like, music-wise... Alex, you and me were talking a little bit about Darren Korb in all his games, Bastion, Pyre, and basically everything he does with Supergiant. Yeah. And I was trying to think of, like... I posed this question to some of you guys earlier without like really knowing what I meant by it, but it was the whole like, what type of music would make a good game? And I think the reason I brought up the Supergiant is because like for some reason listening to those soundtracks, I was like, I've always enjoyed this type of music, but I never thought you could like base a game around it. Because in the interviews that I was reading, he said that like he's involved from like the very beginning, and that like basically sometimes how he writes the music shapes how the games will and how they'll look and like certain aesthetic feels to it. And I think Toby Fox did a similar thing where it was like, I think Toby Fox was like he would write the music completely and then build the game around the music.
That's cool.
Damn.
It kind of reminds me of what Edgar Wright did with Baby Driver. Basing the whole movie on, like, around the soundtrack.
On a playlist.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah. I wish more games would do that. I don't think there's enough developers yet that fully take advantage of the medium. And Darren Korb occupies such a unique niche corner of this entire market. There's no one that does it quite like him.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashley Barrett, the singer that goes with a lot of those tracks.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's an example of like very dynamic music that perfectly goes along with any gameplay experience you're having. They also do such an incredible job of making music a part of the actual game world. Like you've got music as the soundtrack, and then you've got in-world music in the games, and they build stories around it. Like every one of their games has at least one character who's a singer, so they have an excuse to give you these amazing songs in the world of the game, and like the first example that everyone thinks of who's played the Supergiant games is in Bastion, when you're going through like this village that has been completely decimated. All of these people are just ashes, and you just start hearing very faintly in the background this nice little folk song that some girl is singing after only having heard the narrator through the narrative. This is the first other voice that you hear.
Yeah.
And it keeps getting louder as you're going further and further into the level, and the level's pretty quiet. It's not very difficult. You're just hearing this lovely song. And then you meet her!
No, yeah, that's super cool, and I think that's why like those games are as successful as they are, as in tune to the music, but it really shapes like how, back to the beginning of the conversation, like the Silent Hill, it just really, like if you have sound and then you take away sound, or if you have like a lot of scary things or a lot of like just like a lot of information being fed to you, and when they slow it down and speed it up, when they play with that, with the music as well as the gameplay, or giving reverses of that, like you're in a really calm environment, but the music can be really intense. And do you guys want to listen to the Pyre soundtrack I sent real quick?
Ooh, yeah. Which one did you do?
Yeah, I did. I think I just did like the opening Pyre song with the vocals.
Gonna look for it.
I'm still waiting for them to put it on the Switch.
It's not on the Switch yet?
No.
Where's Pyre? I can't find it.
Dude, Hades is coming to the Switch before Pyre.
I know, yeah, right?
Still haven't played Hades.
I haven't seen Pyre. I don't see. Oh, there it is. I found it. You know, I think I played a little bit of Bastion and a little bit of, what is it, the next one? Transistor?
Yeah.
And I never finished the games. And now I want to play the game. And it's like, I want to replay the game because I know that, I remember the game was really fun to play. And I just don't remember finishing it.
Are we all listening to Never to Return?
Yeah.
Is that the one? All right. That one is not the opening, but that is a very interesting song.
Yeah. Maybe it was
plays like...
Sorry, go ahead.
That's the one that plays in the story, like everything is leading towards a match in an arena.
Oh, you're right.
It's like a weird sports thing. And when you get to you meet all of these different teams that are doing the thing, and it's all building up to these special matches in a special place. And this track plays for every one of those matches. But there's like 16 different versions of this track depending on who you're facing. Every team has their own like team theme. Every character has their own character theme, and every different variation of this song incorporates those themes. It's incredible. They put so much work into this, and most people are never even going to notice.
Yeah. So play Pyre, play Bastion, play Transistor, and play Hades when that one comes out on consoles other than Steam. I think it's on Steam. Yeah. Oh, to play the guy. I thought you meant to.
No. I mean to make 16 themes.
Yeah. I thought you were like, that's a lot of work to play those games. Don't play them.
It's not work. It's not like I have nothing to do
Are you
anymore.
ready now?
The game is fun. It doesn't feel like work.
I felt like it just got slapped out of the sky. I was like, play it out.
It's a lot of work.
The same way that Rock of Ages is a really weird pitch, Pyre kind of is too.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pyre is a sports game, a visual novel. What? Oh, also, it's in like a weird dystopian fantasy island thing. It doesn't feel like a sports game, but it is one. It's so weird.
That game was...
It's all about the characters.
Yeah, I'm really scared for them to put it on the Switch because I played it on PlayStation and I was so like content with how I ended my story with who I sent home and who I didn't and stuff that I'm like really scared to like replay it because I'm like, I don't want to do anything different than what I already did.
Who was your last choice?
So my last choice, no
light spoilers.
Spoilers for Pyre.
We're not going to give you any context. We're just going to say a character.
Yeah. All right, I can't even say we're going to say a character name, what happens to them, and how long it takes. Basically, when that final choice comes up in Pyre, because I guess I never really considered it throughout the other matches, but I helped the guy, if that makes sense to you, Alex. In the last round, like I helped him out.
Oh god damn it! Now I have to play Pyre all over again.
There you go. Everyone has to play Pyre because I'm trying not. Because it was so intense for me when I was. When did Pyre come out? Can we spoil Pyre?
Do it.
All right,
spoil a little bit of
real
Pyre.
quick. This is spoiling some Pyre. If anyone's listening up to this point,
and who wants to play Pyre,
very niche group of people, very specific group of people.
The people who like visual novel sports games.
Exactly. Pyre spoilers, beware. But basically, so you do your matches throughout the game, and I guess when you win, you get to decide who goes home because you're kind of in like hell, I guess, is like an or like a purgatory. Yeah. And when you win a game, you can ascend one of your characters back to like the real world. You lose them permanently for the rest of the game, but you get like up to like 10 characters, I think, and you go through like various tournaments. And when you win the tournament, you can send an opponent home, I think, and you can send yourself home. But I never knew about the opponent thing. That either you can't do that throughout the normal game, but you get to the final match and it's against your own team in a weird way. Like they do a reverse where it's like you are like the second iteration of this Nightwings team. Or Nightingales or whatever the team is called. You're like the second version of it.
Nightwings, yeah.
And the original version of that team shows up and they're like, you guys damned us to hell. Like, and there's all this like story beats. And when you beat the game, you can choose to send the bad guy or the team you were fighting against. You can choose to send them up versus your own guy. Yeah, bad guy. So it's like, it was like a really weird, because he was supposed to have already been ascended, and that's like kind of his motivation, that he got screwed over. And so you can like have mercy on him or whatever and send him back up, or you can screw him over and send up one of your own guys.
Yeah, I really want to see what happens when you send that guy home, because I didn't, and
okay,
things went horribly after that.
I won't spoil that much.
With that ascension mechanic, it hurts your heart so much because this game is so much about characters and you get attached to these characters, and you're like, for the game, you're leveling up the ones who are your favorites, but the ones who are your favorites and the ones who you level up are the ones that you can
want to send
home.
back.
And like, do you want what's best for them? Because if you do what's best for them, you lose them in gameplay, you lose them in the story. You can't talk to them anymore. Your friends are gone.
Yeah.
And you can never send all of them home.
Yeah, no matter
it hurts so much.
Yeah, no, even if you win, because if you win every single tournament and you always send your guys, and if you 2 to 3 people are permanently stuck in purgatory forever because they finish the game and they're like, the gods are like, no more. We're not doing this tournament shit anymore. Whoever's down here is stuck now, and they close it up.
Yeah. Oh, and it also hurts your heart so much because you actually grow attached to the other teams. Like, you talk to these people a lot too. And if they win, they get to send someone home. But if you win all the time, they're all stuck down here. They're not. They're characters who are just as interesting and complex as your own, and they just have the misfortune of being on a different side in a very arbitrary game. The game's very meta that way. But
that was me.
You gotta doom them all to hell if you're helping your own people. It sucks.
I was I 0-42. I didn't lose a single game that entire game. I was ruthless.
I regret to admit I did some save scumming, so I mostly won.
It's
I wouldn't do that again.
I'd throw a match or two just to make him feel better. Just be like, guys, I'm sorry. They're just crying, bleeding on the floor. Like, please stop.
Dude, I felt so bad for the demon guy because he just gives up.
Do we have
anytime you go against him, you're like, oh, it's too easy.
Do we have any?
He gave up.
Do we have any more tracks that we can cover? We got a few stragglers. Dom, anything more to add?
No, I mean, I would say Doom, but everybody knows Doom. You know.
Are you talking original Doom, Doom 3, new Doom?
Well, currently
all
talking 20. Yeah, pretty much all the Dooms, but mainly I guess 2016 and Doom Eternal, or the new one that came out. Yeah.
Nothing really jumped out at me in 2016 in terms of soundtrack. There's those few moments where we hear little sprinkles of tracks from Doom 1, and then my heart jumps. It's like, oh, we're back.
Dom, what did you like about the 2016 one?
I mean, because I only played a tiny bit of Doom 3 or something, of an old Doom on PS3, which was a remake. They remade it for PS3, but I can't remember the original, console or whatever it came out on. But so I was pretty much a noob, a freshman into the Doom universe. So I was just hearing all this death metal, putting on the special, puffy earphones and just going ham. I fucking love that shit. I would just rock out,
Mom opens the door.
In the morning.
Doom's got some good things.
Play my game, Mom.
That's the one song in Doom 3. Doom 3 has one song, and it's a death metal thing, and it's great. And then Dooms 1 and 2, it's everywhere at all times, and it's wonderful.
That's awesome. Real quick, all right then, let's we're barely scratching the surface of some of this music, but let's listen to Cuphead that Albert sent in, and we'll close ourselves out.
Cuphead here.
Cuphead, you sent it?
Cuphead, Albert.
Yeah, I did.
I listen to Cuphead all day, every day.
It's so good.
It's so jazzy, and it gives you the feeling of old cartoons, and you just fall in love with the game, even though the game's hard as shit.
I still haven't beaten
it's
it.
hard
I'm
to
on the last
But that just
level.
means every time you die, that's another chance to listen to this amazing music.
Yes, you're right.
Good way to look at it.
You're absolutely right.
That's why it's hard. They just want you to see it more.
They just want you to play the game because it was hard to painstakingly hand drawn every character in the game, every boss fight, every.
Not loading.
It's not loading.
The animation thing looks like some Disney shit from the 40s or something.
Yeah, I think that's the original inspiration from 1940s cartoon.
All that rubber hose Fleischer animation.
I like her.
Like when this game was like teased and was like being shown off, people weren't believing it, right? It was like, this game looks super good. It's an indie game and it looks super cartoony, but it's like the style of it, it's just something different. And they don't want to believe that a game could look this good. And then it came out and it still looked freaking amazing. And
it's as good as everyone hoped it would be.
Honestly, it's so good.
I like this Brazilian spice thing we got going on here.
Yeah, Dom, you would vibe with the Cuphead soundtrack a lot because it's very.
Cuphead is
it's
game or
all
what?
big band jazz.
It's a game.
What's it about? It's a new game or what?
It's a boss rush game. I think, if I remember correctly, it's 2 cups. They lost their souls, and now they have to like they have 2 cups cartoons. They lost their souls, and because they made a deal with the devil, and now they have to collect souls for the devil, to get their souls back. Kids. Yeah. Well, they're making a DLC, right? They're making a DLC for it. It's gonna come out.
I feel like we've been waiting for that DLC for like 2 years.
Yeah, they said
of course
2020, and then
kind
it's
of animation
getting pushed back to
long.
2021. It does take a long time. The animation is just perfect. You want them to take as much time as they need.
But Dom, they like hand drew the entire game. Like all the
2 cups, 1.
Yeah, Cuphead.
2 cups, 1 controller. Jesus.
Just look up a trailer, dude. It's gonna blow you
2
away.
cups, 1 controller.
No, stop.
You can't get both cups on the screen with only 1 controller.
No.
Yeah, good Megan.
Falling apart.
3 cups, 2 controllers.
So much music to scratch. We'll definitely we'll have to do a part 2 with you, Alex, because this is we could talk about this for another 5 hours. I would feel.
It's so much fun to talk about music.
I've been studying game music shit for so long, and I can't use this knowledge anyway.
Now you can. Now you can just spill it.
I'm in theater.
Now you can.
Thesi, do it all. No, I'm going to wrap us up. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, checking us out. We are Can't Camp. Follow us on YouTube at Can't Camp. Our social media, Twitter and Instagram are Can't_camp. Subscribe, like button,
Ring
bells.
that bell. Get us on the algorithm, children.
Speaking of
You
music.
can follow Alex on everywhere.
Yeah, Alex, plug your social.
Do you want to plug yourself, Alex?
Oh, plugging stuff.
There you go.
You can find me on Instagram. Name is The Eldritch Veil.
We'll put that in the description.
So you can look at all my masks.
Yeah,
I make masks.
We'll put all his things in the description.
Yeah, I'll send you that stuff. Yeah, so game music isn't the thing I do with my life. If y'all want some nice spooky Halloween masks, you can get those from me because they're all custom and they're all beautiful.
I worked with Alex. We were in a theater company together, and the stuff that Alex would just...
Yes, we also do theater, and that's not how we make our money, though. No one makes money in theater.
Such a harsh truth at the end of the video.
Goodness. All right, everyone. Well, on that note, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching.
Right. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been fun.
Of course. We'll do again
Thanks
soon.
for coming.